we will start with our life. Okay, it's going to be very interesting because we are going to, we are going to discuss topics related to stress, depression, suicides, etc., and also the food that help us in healing our mind. So let's start by. So, Bhai, I would like you to introduce yourself to us and all about Beyond Thoughts origin.
Okay, so about me. So I'm a professional counselor, a hypnotherapist, and a psychotherapist. So apart from that, I have done around another 5-6 courses. So now I do want to go deep into that. And when it comes to Beyond Thoughts, yeah, Beyond Thoughts was founded by me in 2015 with an experience of around 10 years in the field of holistic healing and quantum science. So later in the year 2019, we formed a private company with a co-founder Abbas Minawala as Henses Private Limited and brought Beyond Thoughts under it. So now Beyond Thoughts is a flagship brand. And yeah, we provide services in holistic healing, products, and everything under one umbrella now. So when it comes to holistic healing and health, we at Beyond Thoughts are not only looking towards physical body, but we are addressing physical, emotional, social, spiritual, and mental health of an individual. So we are more focused on mental health.
Yeah. Okay. So, Bhai, can you just tell me about the products as well with mental health?
Products, yeah. So products, we have different kind of healing products. Like we have crystals. Then we have certain products which are used in acupuncture, acupressure, the medicines like essential oils for aromatherapy, then few Ayurvedic products which are used for mental health.
Okay, bhai, that's really great. Okay, bhai. So now we move on to our first question for you. Is nowadays we see that many of us have a lot of stress to deal with. Okay, maybe it can be related to stress related to marks and examination or work, profession, or financial stress, family relationship stress. So, Bhai, what will you suggest for stress? Like, what are some stress buster tips that you can suggest us so that many of us can benefit from it?
Yeah, so well, stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. So it can come from any event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, angry, or nervous. So basically, stress is your body's reaction to challenge or demand. Few stress buster tips are like breathing. So breathing is the best way of stress busting. So breath in and out slowly and deeply. Then deep breathing can oxygenate your blood and clear up your mind. So sometimes you can go for a walk, take a walk. A brisk walk can knock out stress. It can help improve your mood, and especially when you are walking with someone to whom you like to share your time with, or with your loved ones. Then take a laugh, watch a funny video, or anything that makes you laugh. A good laugh can help decrease stress causing hormones. So nowadays we can see many laughter clubs operating around. So the basic funda is that only. It helps to it helps to bust your stress. Then just make sure you avoid emotional eating. Now, emotional eating is something which is new to the world. So emotional eating is a way to suppress or soothe negative emotions, such as stress, anger, fear. So sometimes it triggers your emotions, which then you just go on eating. You just keep on eating. Which
emotional.
Yeah, but that is not good for the health. You should try to avoid it. Then try creative art, massage or a facial can also be helpful for it. Take a short nap. 20-minute nap can really help you get out of the stress.
Okay, so those were very good tips, Bhai. Definitely we will try to incorporate that to relieve stress, and obviously for emotional eating, which can be very bad for our health. So now, Bhai, my next question for you is, as we know that a lot of stressful events altogether lead to depression, okay, and many of us, more than 1 in 5 people, are affected by depression. Okay, so Bhai, what are some few ways to deal with depression?
Depression. So mood, persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. On an average, an episode of major depression can last to 4 to 8 months. Although it can take a longer time, but few people recover in around 3 to 6 months. So basic tips are like look for support from people who make you feel safe and cared for. Talk to someone about your feelings, someone whom you trust. Then, if you have a trust issue, just write it on your paper. Write it on a paper. Write your problems on the paper. That will let your negative energy flow out. Basically, it is about flowing out your negative energy which has blocked in you. Then,
Yes,
to an old friend, as it helps to dive into few old amazing memories, which will make you feel better. So sometimes, whenever we are stressed, depressed, we try to think our old time, and we always say, "पुराने दिन कितने अच्छे थे." So, that helps you to
yes, yes,
relieve that tension, stress, and depression. Again, go for a walk, meet new people,
yes.
socialize, going to the events, the different events, and it really helps you to get out of the depression.
Okay. So, yeah, those were very helpful tips, Bhai, to deal with depression. Also, Bhai, moving on to our next question. Now, during the last few months, not only me, I think most of us might hear that someone or the other has passed away, every day or every alternate day. And at the same time, even I lost my daddy. Okay, even she passed away. So that was really very, it really affected me because I was very much attached to her, and I just cannot forget her. So I'm sure that most of us whose loved ones have passed away must be having the same feeling which I also went through. And it's very difficult to forget our loved ones, right? So, Bhai, can you help us or show us or give us some tips to how to deal when, with the loss of our loved ones?
Well, at some point in life, everyone loses someone they love. So this is one of the most difficult life events, unimaginable. Like we cannot imagine to lose someone whom we love so much. So
Yes,
you need to be able to cope in a healthy ways. So even if it's painful, you need to find the healthy ways. So in the direct aftermath, allow yourself to work through your emotions. So it's a myth. People believe that the pain will go away faster if you ignore it. That is a myth. That is absolutely wrong. Try to trying to ignore your pain or keeping it from surfacing will only make it worse in the long run. For real healing, it is necessary to face your grief and actively deal with it. Face it. Face your grief. Grief is a process. You cannot put a time limit on your grief. You must allow yourself to experience the stages of grief. Slowly, you need to come to the term that now they have to live for their loved ones. The one who has departed has attained eternity and have left behind loved ones of whom you have to take care. So you have to think about the future. You have to think about the people now who are around you. Avoid
yes,
feeling Avoiding feelings of sadness can prolong the grieving process. Like suppressing grief can lead to things like
yes,
anger, anxiety, substance abuse. It can take you into depression. So do not let that grief be in your heart only. Let it out. You cry. Allow yourself to cry whenever necessary. Just cry. Crying is not a sign of weakness. In India, we have a mindset that रोना कमजोरों पे निशानी है. No, that is absolutely wrong. You should cry whenever you need to. It releases lot of stress and depression from your uh, mental health.
yes. So crying really helps.
Yeah, so you should cry.
Okay.
Not you. Whoever has a grief and whoever wants to cry, yeah, they should
Yes,
cry. They should
yes,
not avoid it. Okay, now
yes,
if you do not like to cry in the crowd, go into the room, go into the bathroom, go wherever you want, but just go and cry. Let that negative
right.
emotion flow out. Let that grief flow out.
Flow out. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is very important. Yes. Okay, bye.
absolutely.
Thank you so much. That was really very helpful to me, as well as many will benefit from it. Now, by moving on to our next question. Nowadays we see that, and we know that stress leads to depression. Okay, and depression, when not treated well, will lead to bad consequences like even suicides. So, what are some ways and measures to say no to suicidal thoughts?
Well, you can't always tell when a loved one or friend is considering suicide. But yes, there are some common signs which through which you can understand that there is something wrong going on the other person's mind. So a few tips are like talking. If a person is continuously talking about dying or suicide, for example, he's making a statement as "I'm going to kill myself," "I wish I were dead," or like "I wish I hadn't been born." Can trigger the suicidal thoughts. Then getting the means to take their own life, like they are finding some other means like मैं यहाँ से कूद जाऊँ तो कैसा रहेगा कैसे अगर मैं गले में कुछ लगा लूँ रस्सा तो कैसा रहेगा. So these types of thoughts and talks are also one of the sign that the person has is in depression and he's given up on the life. Then
Mhm.
one is withdrawing from social contact and wanting to be left alone, having mood swings such as being emotionally high one day and deeply discouraged the next day, being preoccupied with death, dying, or violent talks or discussions. Then always talking negative about the life, like मेरी तो life ऐसी है मैंने तो कुछ हासिल नहीं किया, this that XYZ. Then increasing use of alcohols or drugs, doing
Yes,
risky or self-destructive things such as using drugs or driving recklessly. So these are few of the signs which you will see in the people who are depressed or have a suicidal tendency.
okay. So, by looking at the signs, we can help them to overcome these thoughts, right?
Yeah, so suicide prevention starts with recognizing the warning signs and taking them seriously. Like what we do, we just take it in a joke, like अरे छोड़ना क्या तू भी ये सब बात करता है. No,
Mm.
you should just give a thought on it. You should understand the feeling behind that, and then you should talk with the person. Talk more with the person. Talking is the best remedy. Listening is the best remedy. Listening and talking are the best remedy. Listen to people. Talk to them and your problems will
Yes.
be.
Yeah, that's really very useful. By listening to each other is the most important thing that we can do to help someone to
Absolutely.
prevent from suicidal thoughts and suicide. Okay, Bhai. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for sharing such tips. Now, Bhai, we move on to our last part. Now, what are your views about food for mental health?
Yep. Food plays a major role, not only in physical health, but also in mental health. But our problem is we never focus on mental health. We always just focus on physical health. Well, but you are a better person to guide on this, Farida Ben. So I think so. You should only answer this question rather than me answering it.
Yes, yes, sure, Bhai. So, now I'm going to share 10 superfoods that help us to heal our mind and for our brain health. Okay. Now, our brain is a very big thing to deal with. It is a big deal. So now we need to keep our brain in a peak working condition, as it controls all our moves, how we feel, our mood, etc. Okay. So the 10 superfoods that if we incorporate in our diet, it's gonna really help us in keeping our mind, our brain healthy. So the first food that I'm going to talk about is omega-3 rich food. Okay, that is fish. Okay, now fish is something where research says that 60% of our brain is made up of fat. Okay, and half of that fat is omega-3 kind. So now what happens is um omega-3 slows age-related mental decline and helps us ward off Alzheimer's disease. So not getting omega-3 in our food is linked to learning impairments as well as depression. So this is how it is important. So eating fish have positive health benefits and positive health benefits on our brain as well. Okay. Now, also one study had found out that people who ate baked or broiled fish. Okay, so I always advise not to go for fried fish, and even the research and even the studies are suggesting that going for baked or broiled fish regularly had more gray matter in their fish regularly had more gray matter in their brains who helped them. Okay, so this is how fish incorporating fish in our diet helps us in this way. Okay, the second superfood that I'm going to talk about is blueberries. Okay, we don't get it most like very frequently, but whenever we get it, we have to see that we incorporate that in our diet. Okay, now blueberries provide numerous health benefits. Okay, blueberries as well as other deeply colored berries deliver anthocyanins. Okay, what are anthocyanins? They are a group of plant compounds with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effect. Now, when I talk about these 10 superfoods in our diet, we see that most of them are rich in antioxidants. So it makes sure that incorporating antioxidants in our diet has really very good effect on our brain health. Okay, so most of them are really very high in antioxidants. So what are antioxidants? They act against both oxidative stress and inflammation. Okay, now antioxidants in these blueberries have been found to accumulate in the brain, okay, and help improve communication between the brain and the cells. Okay, and how can we incorporate blueberries in our diet is trying them sprinkling on our breakfast cereal or adding them to our smoothies, etc. This is how we can incorporate blueberries in our diet. Okay, now the third superfood that I'm going to talk about for our brain health is turmeric. Now the curcumin compound is the most active ingredient in turmeric and has been shown to cross the blood-brain barrier. Okay, meaning it can directly enter the brain and benefits the cells there. Okay, so this is how curcumin helps. So now also it is a potent antioxidant. As I told you that antioxidants rich foods are mostly helping us with our brain health. So it is a potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compound. So it has been linked to brain benefits like it benefits in memory. Okay, it improves memory in people with Alzheimer's. Okay, it helps in clearing amyloid plaques that are a hallmark of this disease. Okay, the second thing that it helps is it eases depression. Okay, it boosts our serotonin and dopamine levels, both improves our mood. And one study found that curcumin improves our depression symptoms just as much as antidepressant, what is given to depressed people over 6 weeks. So it is it tells us that incorporating curcumin curcumin improves our depression symptoms as antidepressants too. Okay, now it also helps in new brain cells growth. So this is how turmeric plays a very important role in our diet. Now, how can you incorporate turmeric in your diet is you can incorporate it in any foods that you eat. Okay, maybe any tarkari or whatever. Try putting little of turmeric in your diet in all the tarkaris that you eat, as well as before few of my posts, I had shared a recipe of decoction. Okay, so decoction has a very good amount of curcumin, turmeric to it. So this is how it helps. So having decoction not only helps in improving immunity, but also when turmeric is added to our diet as well as in decoction, it helps us in improving our brain health. Okay, now the fourth superfood that I'm going to share is about broccoli. So broccoli is packed with powerful plant compounds, including antioxidants. Okay, so this food is also again rich in antioxidants, and very important, it is very high in vitamin K. Okay, vitamin K is fat soluble vitamin. Okay, so 1 cup of broccoli, for example, 91 grams of it, 91 grams of servings, deliver more than 100% of recommended dietary intake. So that is how it helps. So vitamin K is so much incorporated in our diet by having broccoli. And what does vitamin K do is, vitamin K is a fat soluble vitamin. Okay, so it is essential for forming sphingolipids, a type of fats that is densely packed in our brain cells. So a few studies in older adults have found that it is higher vitamin K intake is led to better memory in adults. Okay, so that is how incorporating broccoli in our diet helps us in this way. Okay, the next superfood, which is my favorite, is pumpkin seeds. Okay, pumpkin seeds contain powerful antioxidants, again antioxidants, that protects our body and brain from free radical damage. Now, they are an excellent source of magnesium, zinc, copper, and iron. If magnesium, zinc, copper, and iron are deficient in our diet, it can lead to many, many mental illness as well. So I'm gonna just share quickly the roles of all these four micronutrients which are in our pumpkin seeds. So it is very important to incorporate pumpkin seeds in our diet. Okay, now the zinc. What happens is, zinc is an element crucial for nerve signaling. Okay, zinc deficiency has been linked to many neurological conditions like Alzheimer's, depression, and even Parkinson's disease. Okay, so zinc deficiency is not at all good for our brain health. So we have to make sure that we incorporate foods that are rich in zinc. So this pumpkin seed is a very good source of zinc. The second micronutrient I'm going to talk about is magnesium. Okay, magnesium is essential for learning and memory. Okay, especially for children. Low magnesium levels in our diet are linked to many neurological diseases, including migraines, epilepsy, depression, etc. So very important we make sure we are not deficient in magnesium. Okay, the next element is copper. So your brain uses copper to help control nerve signals. So when copper levels are out of whack, there's a higher risk of neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's. Okay, so when we see that most of them in old age are affected by Alzheimer's. So it's very important to make sure that you incorporate all these foods, all these nutrients in your diet. Okay, and the last thing is iron. Okay, iron deficiency is often characterized to brain fog and impaired brain function. Okay, we see that most of the women in India, not only India, all over the world, are anemic. Okay, low iron, low hemoglobin levels. So it's very important that iron does not only help us in other things, but it helps us for our brain as well. So it's very important that we make sure we eat foods rich in iron as well. Okay. So the pumpkin seeds gives us all these four essential micronutrients, that is zinc, magnesium, copper, and iron. So you can include roasted pumpkin seeds in your diet by simply sprinkling it on our fruit bowls or salad bowls, or just putting it in a mukbas, etc. So this is how you will incorporate pumpkin seeds in your diet. Okay, now very quickly, my next superfood is dark chocolate. So we all love chocolates, right? So I love dark chocolate because of its benefits more than a milk chocolate. So what does dark chocolate do is, dark chocolate not only boosts our memory and mood, but dark chocolate and cocoa powder both are packed with brain boosting compounds like flavonoids, caffeine, and antioxidants. Flavonoids in this dark chocolate gather in the areas of the brain that deal with learning and memory. Okay, they enhance memory and help slow down age-related mental decline like Alzheimer's. So I would really advise parents, if they are giving to their child, try giving them dark chocolates instead of milk chocolate. It will really, really benefit them. Okay, and one more study has found that participants who ate dark chocolate experienced more increased positivity and positive feeling compared to participants who ate crackers or just biscuits. Okay. Now, my next superfood is nuts. Okay, eating nuts not only improves your heart health, okay, but healthy heart is linked to healthy brain. Okay. I'm hearing some sound. Okay. So now, several nutrients in nuts, such as healthy fats, micronutrients, antioxidants, vitamin E, may explain their brain health benefits. Okay, vitamin E is the most important nutrient in nuts. Okay, what does vitamin E do is it shields our cell membrane from free radical damage. Okay, helping us slow down our mental decline. Now, from all the nuts, I would say walnuts may have an extra edge because, as we discussed, omega-3 rich foods that really help us in improving our brain health. So, what does walnuts do? It is a nut that will definitely help us with our brain health, but it is also rich in omega-3. So, it helps us in both the ways. So, try incorporating walnuts in your diet. Now, my second last superfood that I'm going to talk about is vitamin C rich foods like oranges, etc. Um, what does it do is eating sufficient amount of vitamin C in the diet can protect against age-related mental decline like Alzheimer's, and vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant. Okay, that helps us fight off free radicals that can damage our brain cells. Okay, and what does vitamin C rich foods do? Vitamin C supports our brain health as you age. So it's very important to include vitamin C rich foods in our diet. Okay, some examples of excellent source of vitamin rich foods are bell peppers, capsicums, oranges, amla, guava, kiwi, tomatoes, strawberries, etc. Okay. Now, the next superfood that I'm going to talk about is eggs. Okay, eggs are a very good source of several nutrients like tied to brain health, that is vitamin B6, B12, folate, and choline. Okay, now choline is a nutrient we see that many of us lack choline in our diet. Okay, choline is an important micronutrient. What does choline do is it helps our body to create acetylcholine. Okay, acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter that helps regulate our mood and memory. Okay, so what happens is eating eggs is an easy way to get choline in our diet. Okay, make sure you eat one egg per day, and especially the egg yolk. We see that most of us now, people usually throw away egg yolk. But I usually recommend people to have egg yolk because it's not only rich in choline, but as well as vitamin D. So, but if you're suffering from any conditions like cholesterol, etc., then you should definitely see to it what we say. We have to see to it how many yolk you can eat per week. Okay. But if you're very well, you're fit, you're healthy, then I would really advise going for egg yolk, at least one egg per day. Okay. Now, egg yolk is a concentrated source of choline. Women, all of us require 425 mg per day of choline in our diet. Okay, and men require 550 mg of choline in our diet per day. And what does egg yolk do? It gives us approx 112 mg per day of choline in our diet. So that's so great of including egg yolk in our diet because it gives us a good amount of choline. Okay, along with this, B vitamins show the progression of mental decline in the elderly. Also, being deficient in two types of vitamins like B6 and B12 has been linked to depression. So we make sure we eat at least one egg so we get a good amount of choline, B12, B6 in our diet. Okay, now the last superfood that I'm going to talk about is green tea. Okay, I am sure many of us must be having green tea in our diet. Green tea, caffeine in green tea boosts our brain function. Okay, in fact, it has been linked and found to improve alertness, better performance, memory, and focus. But along with this, green tea also has other components that make brain healthy beverage. So as we're talking about brain health, green tea really helps with our brain health. Okay, what does it do is one of them is L-theanine. Okay, it is an amino acid that can cross a blood-brain barrier, okay, and increases the activity of neurotransmitter. We spoke earlier about the neurotransmitter. So here it is GABA, the neurotransmitter, which helps reduce anxiety in all of us. I'm sure many of us must be facing anxiety issues. So this reduces anxiety in us and make us feel more relaxed. Okay, so this is how green tea helps. As well as the L-theanine in green tea increases the frequency of alpha waves in the brain. Okay, so which helps us feel more relaxed and without making you feel tired. So this is how green tea helps. So along with this, it is not only rich in polyphenols and antioxidants, but it really helps and reduce the risk of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. So these are the 10 superfoods that really helps us in our brain health. So I would really recommend everybody to incorporate these 10 foods for our mental health.
Thank you, Farida. That was quite interesting and informative.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bhai. Thank you so much for joining us. We will just quickly see if somebody has any questions. If anybody has some questions related to brain health, food for brain health, you all can definitely put it up here. We will wait and we will answer them all. Okay. Fatima Bin had said pumpkin seeds not salty. Yes, plain is better, but make sure you roast them well. Okay. Okay. Also, fish is a must. I would always advise fish to at least have once a week. But you can also go for omega-3 rich foods like walnuts as well in your diet. Yeah, we will definitely put it on our IGTV so you all can benefit from our live. Okay, so Bhai, Hussein Bhai, this Tasneem Pain has one question for memory loss. So do you have anything to tell Tasneem Pain?
Sorry for what she asked. I'm sorry, I just missed it.
Okay. Tasneem Bain is asking for memory loss. So what things help in memory loss?
So the best way is doing meditation. Meditation helps you in increasing your mindfulness, and that helps in controlling memory loss. So apart from saying doing different other exercises and yoga and everything else, meditation is the best thing. Just do it 15 minutes in a day, and that's it. And it will really help you boost your mindfulness, and that will help you to better your memory loss. And there are few foods also which helps you in getting memory loss.
Yes, definitely almonds. You can include good amount of almonds, walnuts in your diet. That will really help you in building your memory. Also, Fatima bin Jamali has a question: how to get out of emotional jail due to loss of life? So, Bhai, what are your suggestions for emotional jail?
Sorry, emotional
jail. She has asked that how to get out of emotional jail due to loss of life.
Yeah, as I told you, there are few things like take a walk, have a look at a funny videos, talk to your loved ones, spend time with them. These are the few general tips. Then we need to study in detail that what are the emotional trauma. What are the reasons you are into such conditions. Then we can give a proper prescription for proper remedies. So right now you can use our general tips just which I discussed before, like talk to someone, take a stroll, go for some movies, take dinner, go out with your friends, The best thing is to have a blast with your friends. That is the best thing for any kind of depression, stress, emotional trauma. That is the best remedy.
Okay. Now, Zabeen Bean is asking food that helps children under 10 for sharp memory. I would say almonds, walnuts, try including good amount of vitamin C rich foods, try including what we say nuts, all types of nuts in your diet, fish, etc. Eating a healthy balanced diet also really affects in improving our memory, as well as making sure these 10 superfoods are included for our mental health. Definitely it will improve our memory. Okay, now Fatima bin Jamali is also asking children, 1 minute, children who are doing Quran Hifz, which food is good for them for mental health and memory. So I would always advise that make sure children eat a good, healthy, balanced meals. Okay, allow them to eat a little bit of chips or a little bit of junk food, but make sure they eat well. Okay, they do not miss on any food groups like maybe it's cereals and pulps, milk products, fish, uh, grains, fruit, vegetables. Make sure they eat everything. But apart from this, make sure they incorporate good amounts of almonds and walnuts in their diet. That will really help them in improving their memory. Okay, make sure they have good amount of fish as well in their diet. It will really help them in improving their memory. Okay, so we will end our live here. Thank you, Hussein Bhai. Thank you for joining me. It was really a fun session with you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.